Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. My salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who is the establisher of Dharma, who is the embodiment of all the world religions, and who is the best among the incarnations. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, in the previous class, 5 verses we could see, and just 6th verse we started discussing, so which is very interesting. And also, what is the nature of Sri Ramakrishna, or what is the nature of any prophet or incarnation can be understood by this. Vancana, Kamakanchana, Atinindita, Indriyarag. Tyagishwara, He Naravara, Deho, Pade, Anurag. Vancana. Vancana means renounced, giving up. One more meaning is cheating. One is renouncing or giving up. The other meaning is cheating. What is renouncing? What? Kamakanchana. That is lust and greed. Kama means any desires, any lustful thoughts, or any type of desires. Kanchana is nothing but greediness, greed, or wealth, or whatever. We will try to see in detail. Then Atinindita, Indriyarag means you're completely discarded or you despised attachment to senses, attachment to body, attachment to sense gratification has been completely despised. Then Tyagishwara, you are one of the best among the ascetics. You are the king of the monks. You are the hero of the monks or the renunciated ones. He Naravara, you are the best among the men. Dehe, Pade, Anurag. Please give me the love, attachment at your holy feet. So Vancana, Kamakanchana. He has completely renounced the lust and the greed. If you see, or whoever has read the Sri Ramakrishna's immortal gospel, in every page at least, once we come across the one word, Kamini Kanchan Tyag. Their Kamini represents woman, Kanchana stands for the money. So renunciation of woman and gold, or renunciation of woman and wealth. That is what literal translation. Then people will start thinking whether Sri Ramakrishna was against women. So he was a discriminator then. How can we call him as incarnation? How can we call him as prophet? How can we call him as a god? There, what we should understand that he was not against any woman at all. He was not pro-man and he was against woman. No. He only said that don't get attached or don't see the woman in the lustful way, in the lustful thoughts. Many times people think that woman is an instrument for our sexual enjoyment. Woman is an instrument or medium for our enjoyments. So don't see the woman in that point or from that angle. Rather try to see the woman as she's the manifestation of the mother. She's the mother, universal mother, your biological mother. And she's a sister. And she's the great primordial power, Shakti. So why don't you see the woman in that particular angle, in that particular view or attitude? By that, what happens? Lot of our desires, lot of our sexual instincts, lot of our sense gratifications are controlled. Then the animal tendencies which we see, instinctively behavior can be controlled, can be curbed. And whatever the social evils we see sometimes. Oh, such and such a lady has been molested, such and such a people got into problem. I mean, either in any country or sometime at the global level, we'll be hearing such unwelcoming incidents. Why? Because we are living at the level of beastly nature or at the instinct nature. So that has to be controlled, and we have to rise ourselves. So that's what we mean, renunciation of woman. So that doesn't mean that we should not touch woman, we should not see woman, we should not be with the woman, or no. For grosthas, for the householder people, no. Yes, but for monks, you try to avoid as much as possible. As part of work, as part of counseling or whatever, you may do it. But otherwise, you should be away from the woman as much as possible. Because at any time, you may get tempted and you may do some wrong or whatever. As a word of caution has been given. Then Kanchana, money. If you see, the whole world is behind the money. To earn the money, day in and day out, we are spending our time and energy. Is it bad? No. We need it. We need the money. We should do it. We should, spend our time and energy to have the money. No doubt. But don't spend your time alone in just acquiring the money. That's what Sri Ramakrishna means. So many times people mistake it. Now the same idea has been told here, Kamakanchana, Vancana. Sri Ramakrishna renounced all type of lustful thoughts and greed completely. Probably whoever has read Sri Ramakrishna's life, we can see. He took some soil or Ganga Mati, that is the soil from the bank of the Ganges. He took in one hand. In one hand, he took the coins. He said, in one hand, he threw the few coins in the Ganges, and in another hand, he threw the soil. So taka, mati, taka, mati. Taka is what? That is money. And mati is what? Soil. So money and soil both are one and the same for me. This is for realized person it will be, but for us it is not. But he told, and I think few times he did that, and his body absorbed that idea. It is not only concept for him, it was not only attitude for him, rather his body and mind accepted that idea. Henceforth, what happened? He was unable to touch even the money. Swami Vancana, as is one of the notorious disciple, he wanted to test this. Whether Sri Ramakrishna has completely renounced it, as he keeps on saying this. Once Sri Ramakrishna had gone outside Calcutta for some work, to address some devotees. When no one was there, Naren came, and 1 rupee coin he had kept below the bed where Sri Ramakrishna used to sit. And no one was aware except Naren. And evening, Sri Ramakrishna came from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar. He was unaware of it. And while talking with the devotees, he just came and sat on the bed. Along with him, no one was aware that there's a 1 rupee coin below the bed. And as soon as he sits, immediately there was like a prick on him, like a snake bite or scorpion bite. Immediately he got up from the bed and said, look, there is something below in this bed. I'm unable to sit. Something like I'm feeling that scorpion is biting me. Then they removed the blanket and they saw nothing is there. Then they removed the bed and they started doing it. And there the 1 rupee coin turned like that, making a sound. It fell on the ground. Everyone were astounded, astonished. Oh, who had kept this 1 rupee coin below the bed, Sri Ramakrishna's bed? Sri Ramakrishna was just observing. By seeing Naren's face, he understood it is Naren's notorious deed, or it was examining his guru. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, smilingly said, yes, Guru should be observed and examined, not only during the daytime, even the nighttime also. So Sri Ramakrishna was never angry because his disciple, he examined him or whatever, rather he welcomed him. So he had completely renounced this lust and greed. He never had any desire, that means. So Sri Ramakrishna had not any single desire that I want this, I want that, I would like to enjoy this, I would like to go there. Nothing was there. He was completely free from all type of worldly desires. So Vancana renounced what? Kamakanchana, lust and greed. And if you see even in the Vedas, Purushartas, Purusharta means the person. Here Purusha means not only male, female, any being which has to be attained. What is that? 4 Purushartas are told. One is Dharma, the other is Artha. Artha is money, Dharma is religion. Roughly translated, the Artha is money, then Kama, all type of desires. Moksha is what? liberation or realization or emancipation. These are the four things which has to be attained, which has been desired by every human being. Now, dharma, it starts at the base, and moksha is the final goal, and this artha and kama, we need it in day-to-day life. So this artha and kama has been represented, the Vedic idea, by Sri Ramakrishna from Kamakanchana, and the Swami Vivekananda is using these two words, kama and kanchana. Here, kama means desire, any type of desire. All good and bad desires, everything will come in this kama, except God realization. I've got a desire to realize God. I've got a desire to experience oneself, that is self. That is not counted here. Otherwise, all type of desires comes under kama. So Sri Ramakrishna renounced all type of desires. Then kanchana. Kanchana is what? Greediness, greedy for wealth, greedy for name and fame, power, position, money, riches, all comforts, all these things comes in this kanchana. So Sri Ramakrishna never had any of these things. Probably I will give one or two examples, life incidents from Sri Ramakrishna's life. I think once I told the owner of the temple, Dakshineshwar temple, Mathurnath Vishwas, he was a great ardent devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. But he had his own limited understanding about spirituality and religion at the beginning. Sri Ramakrishna had intense yearning for God, and his spiritual ecstasy, spiritual experiences. When he witnessed this Mathurnath Vishwas, he thought, because Sri Ramakrishna is 25 years aged person. In those days in India, generally the child marriage system was prevalent. By that time already they would have married and they would have one or two children. So basically his instincts would have been cleared, fulfilled. So Sri Ramakrishna at the age of 25, even 25, 30 between, he has not married. So he's practicing chastity completely, celibacy completely. I think that's why that is having a psychological effect. That's why he is losing his mental balance sometimes and is behaving very weirdly. So if his that basic desires has been fulfilled, then he becomes normal. That's what Mathurnath Vishwas thought. But how can he ask this? Then he thought, let me try to help Sri Ramakrishna, saying that he took Sri Ramakrishna to prostitute's house. Sri Ramakrishna was unaware of it. Sri Ramakrishna was told only, we will go to Calcutta for some work and afterwards we'll come back. Sri Ramakrishna, as a guileless child, as a child nature he had, he went along with Mathurnath Vishwas. Then Mathurnath Vishwas took Sri Ramakrishna to prostitute house and he kept there and he said, Thakur, I have got some work. I will go and come for some time. Please be here. Sri Ramakrishna said, okay. And he was sitting. And Mathurnath Vishwas, everything was arranged. He disappeared. And the women, 2-3 women, they came and they started behaving in different way to attract Sri Ramakrishna towards them. Sri Ramakrishna never scolded, never ran away, or never abused anyone. Rather, immediately he got up and he said, oh mother, you are in this form also. Means in this prostitute form also, you are there. Saying that, he got up and he kneeled down and he started doing pranam. He started saluting the prostitutes. Such a guileless man he was. And he was able to see mother in everyone. That is why Kamini Tyag. Renouncing woman means what? Renouncing that instinct feelings, wrong feelings, lustful thoughts towards women should be renounced, should be given up. The prostitutes start feeling very bad about it. Such a holy man he is. And this Mathurnath Vishwas, he paid money for us, no doubt, but he has bought such a holy man. We are doing wrong things, and by doing wrong things with such a holy man, we will incur more and more sin. We don't know, we will push into what type of hell. They felt very ashamed of it. They asked sorry for them. They asked sorry for Sri Ramakrishna. And when Mathurnath Vishwas came, all these ladies, they charged him, they scolded him left and right. And this was also failed. Mathurnath Vishwas took Sri Ramakrishna back to the Dakshineshwar. And I think in mid-40s, Sri Ramakrishna was there, and Holy Mother was in around 16, 18 years. That was the huge gap. They had around, a lot of gap was there. Their age gap was around 17, 18 years, or more than that even. So one day, both of them are sleeping in the same room, on the same cot. No one else is there. So Sri Ramakrishna wanted to examine himself, whether I am right, whether I am sincere in my attitude or not, or whether I am a hypocrite. Because if I'm hypocrite, God, I cannot see God. So he wanted to test himself. So then that midnight, Holy Mother is sleeping. She's in deep sleep. No one is there. Sri Ramakrishna got up and he started giving suggestion to his mind. Look, the whole world is behind this woman's body. If you want to enjoy, you have got all the right to enjoy because she is your wife. If you want to enjoy, don't be hypocrite. You want to enjoy, if you wish to enjoy, kindly enjoy. Saying that he just tried to touch the body of his own wife, Sri Sharda. Immediately, as a reflex action, as a mechanical action, his mind and senses, everything withdrew and he went to Samadhi. If you study the Sthita Prajna Lakshana, the nature of the man of steady wisdom, there they say, Vishaya Vinivartante, Kurmongani eva sarvashaha. When the senses come into contact with sense objects unnecessarily, just like the tortoise, when it feels that there is a danger, it withdraws its limbs and head. Similarly, the Sthita Prajnas, the person who has got steady wisdom, even his body, his mind and senses withdraws. That is one of the characteristic feature of a person who has got steady wisdom, Sthita Prajna. Even Sri Ramakrishna's life also we can say, immediately his mind and senses withdrew and he went into Samadhi, ecstasy or spiritual ecstasy. So he had completely renounced lust and greed. And also, once 10,000 rupees, Marwadi devotee, I think Lakshmi Narayani he wanted to give 10,000 rupees. Voluntarily he came and he tried to give Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna didn't accept and he denied it. And Mathurnath Vishwasi wanted to give huge money and huge land in his name, so that after the demise of Mathurnath, even Sri Ramakrishna's life can be taken care of. Sri Ramakrishna, he rejected it. So basically, he never had any desire for any wealth or for any type of desires or any type of sense gratification or fulfilling, having a comfortable life. All things were completely removed in Sri Ramakrishna's life. So that is Vancana. Vancana means renunciation, Kamakanchana, lust and greed. The second mean is cheating. Our mind is cheating us most of the time. Our senses are cheating. Say, for example, if you are a very foodie man, daily you take, say, for example, 2 chapatis. And that day, the food is so nice, food is very tasty and delicious. You feel your stomach gives a sensation that I am a little more hungry today. So you will eat 3rd chapati or 4th chapati. Already you took double times of food and good ice cream came. You like ice cream? Ice cream is not very heavy. That's okay. There is a side place, stomach. There's a side place. I will eat ice cream also. That's how. And we feel really hungry also sometimes. That's how our body, our mind, our senses, it cheats us. So most of the time we have been, the world or the senses and mind is cheating us and we got cheated by all of them. And whereas with the hypocrite people, in front of people, they put some mask and inside they have got so much desire to enjoy, very in a closed curtains. They show something to the public and inside they will be enjoying. They'll be trying to enjoy the worldly comforts or worldly life or desires or whatever. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, what happened, he cheated this mind and senses. He cheated the lust and greed itself. He cheated mind and senses. He cheated lust and greed. What does it mean? That means what? That means he had a complete control. He had a complete control over the lust and greed. No desire, no wealth, name and fame, power, position, nothing could shake Sri Ramakrishna. Nothing could taint Sri Ramakrishna. Nothing could hold Sri Ramakrishna. Nothing could make Sri Ramakrishna bend. Sri Ramakrishna was master with all these things. At his will, he was able to think. At his will, he thought, I will eat it or I will not eat or what or not. So this is called Nirodha, self-mastery. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, we say Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Nirodha means it is not just control. It is one meaning. It is Nirodha means it is self-mastery. At his will, he can think. If he wishes, he will think. If he doesn't wish, he will not think. He can completely arrest the mind. So like that, if he wish, he will desire. If he doesn't wish, no desire will come near his mind. So this is what we call Nirodha. So here, Vancana Kamakanchana means he had completely self-mastery. He cheated lust and greed. He cheated all the worldly desires because he had a complete mastery. Then Atinindita, Indriyarag. Most of the time, we live at the level of senses. Sometimes we live at the level of emotions. Rarely we live at the level of thoughts. Oh, he looks like very thoughtful in nature. I think he has some deep thought. He is completely immersed in his own thought. Very few people. And some scientists and great academicians, they always linger at the level of thoughts. And greatest people, they live at the level of self-consciousness, like Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, or Vivekananda, Saint Francis of Assisi, or Jesus Christ. So they live at the level of self. They live at the level of God conscious. They live at the level of, conscious level. We live at the level of senses. That's why the world has become so real for us. That's why we are always obsessed with the pair of opposites. We want to enjoy. We want all comforts. We want all type of desires to be fulfilled. So we are living at the level of senses. That is what called Indriyarag. Attachment to senses. Attachment to senses means what? Attachment to sense objects. Means in one word, sense gratification. Today, because of our mobile and internet and whatnot, because of technology, the sense gratification has been doubled today, unfortunately. All these things are giving a lot of good help from us, because I'm talking here and people are from India, from Scotland, from Dublin and Ireland, different parts, you people are able to listen to me, no doubt, thanks to technology. But the same technology, if you don't use properly, discriminatively, that makes us slaves for the senses. So Indriyarag means we are the slaves for our senses. I don't want to see a particular picture, but still my sense, I will be pulled or I will be dragged by my senses and mind. I don't want to think something, but my mind drags me to think that. It forces me to think. I don't want to listen something. I want to concentrate and I want to meditate, but some music is coming. Though I don't wish, but my senses are dragging towards the sense object. So I am also moved along with my mind or sense objects. This is what Indriyarag, which is a common phenomena, common experience with all of us. Whereas in Sri Ramakrishna, Atinindita, he has completely renounced, he has completely left the attachment towards the senses. Means attachment towards the pleasures, attachment towards the sense gratification, attachment towards the sense object. Attachment toward the world and worldly objects and worldly possessions and worldly pleasures. That's what, if you don't have control over body, mind and senses, what happens? You will become a slave. You will become a slave. What happens? Though you wish, you don't wish, then you become a slave and you don't have a control, and the spiritual progress is hampered. Not only spiritual progress, even materialistic progress is also hampered. Many times we feel, I will get up and morning I will do yoga or I will do some jogging. Why? Because so that I will keep my body fit. And morning alarm, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock alarm rings and I get up and I put off and I sleep. Why? I want to sleep so nicely. Still, summer is not started here. So, below inside the, bed spray, inside the rug, sleeping is so nice. So this is just a momentary happiness, momentary pleasure, the sleep also. Whatever the pleasure we get from the sleep, no doubt. So we are not able to get over from that. So we are not able to do exercise. So we are not able to maintain the good health sometimes. So similarly, I want to meditate, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I am unable to do. Why? Because I don't have control over my mind, control over my senses. Means I don't have control over my desires. I don't have a control over my sense objects. That's why my Gurudev used to tell, eat shamelessly, fine, but suffer silently. You have to eat. If you eat shamelessly, that means you have to suffer silently. Means if you eat indiscriminately, then whatever the pros and cons comes from that, because of indiscriminate eating, whatever it comes, you have to silently suffer. You should not cry. You should not make complaint. You should not lament. It's basically you have got a control over the desire or a tongue. That's what my Gurudev used to tell. So, Indriyarag Atinindita. He had a complete control over this sense gratification or the senses or the desires. This is what Indriyarag. The same idea has been told that he is a Tyagishwara. He is Tyagishwara. Tyagishwara means what? He is the best among the ascetics. He is the king among the ascetics. Means basically, he is the greatest renouncer. Nothing could taint him. No name and fame, no power, no worldly possessions, no worldly things could taint him to bring his mind down or bind him. So that person is called Tyagishwara. We will try to see one or two probably examples in his own life. Dakshineshwar, whoever has seen, there's a temple complex, huge temple complex. Next to that, there was one more farmhouse. And the owner of the farmhouse was Yadu Malik. His name, by name, Yadu Malik. Yadu Malik was also a devotee, a follower of Sri Ramakrishna. Many times Sri Ramakrishna used to go and spend some time there and come back. Once, he went to Yadu Malik's house. Yadu Malik's farmhouse. Then Yadu Malik was not there. Then find the gardener was there. Then gardener, he welcomed him with respect, and he exchanged few words, and he was about to come. Then there was a beautiful lemon in that farmhouse, in that orchard. The gardener, he plucked one or two lemons, and he gave to Sri Ramakrishna, please, you can have it, because this summer you can make a lemon juice and you can take it. Sri Ramakrishna was happy. He took it and he was about to come. But he was unable to move at all. He was unable to see the path at all. Why? Because he was completely practicing renunciation. Just like bird doesn't carry anything. Bird eats that day itself. It never stores anything for the next day. So similarly, such type of life Sri Ramakrishna was living, like an avaduta. So he is not supposed to store anything, but because he was keeping one or two lemons in his pocket, he was unable to see the path. Then finally, he was forced to give this lemon to the gardener. Then only he was able to come to his room. When we hear such type of stories, incidents, we feel, I think it is something cooked up stories, isn't it? Or it is too much exaggeration, isn't it? Because just people, one or two lemons they are keeping, by that how one can not see the path. I think it looks so awkward. No doubt, yes, because it is unusual, very unusual. But in Sri Ramakrishna's life, it was true. The same thing we can see. After Sri Ramakrishna, generally after finishing his lunch, he used to have some spices like clove or bark. He used to use small pieces just to not to have the bad odor in his mouth, or just for a good digestion. Once there was no spices left in the room, he went to the just nearby adjacent place, maybe 50 meters or 60 meters distant to the Nahabad, where Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi used to stay. He said, there is no spice left in the house, in the room. Why don't you give some spice for me to chew? My food is over. And Sri Sharda Devi gave, and he put into the mouth and he started chewing it. Then Holy Mother said, look, then you will not have afterwards probably. So please, I will give some more spices for you so that you can carry and you can keep it yourself whenever you want, you can chew it. Sri Ramakrishna felt, okay, that's okay. Then Holy Mother, in a small, probably in the small container, she added a few spices and she closed and she gave to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna took it and he started coming towards his room, and he was unable to come. Why? Because he's carrying it now. And he was going here and there. He was unable to see the path, and he was about to go Ganges side, and probably he may fall in Ganges. Holy Mother got really worried, and she called one relative called Hridayaram. Hridayaram came and he holded Sri Ramakrishna and asked, what are you doing? Why are you going in that way, particular path? You will go and fall in the Ganges. Sri Ramakrishna said, I don't know what is happening. I'm unable to see the path, though there's such a small nearest place. Somehow I was led by unknown thing. Then Sri Ramakrishna understood, because I'm carrying some spice in my pocket, that's why it made me. So he's called Tyagishwara. Because he had practiced renunciation, he had decided that he will practice renunciation. His body, mind, senses, veins, his muscles, everything was completely taken that idea. So he was not able to carry even a small spice, a bag of spice, a small container of spice, even he cannot carry. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. As you think, so you become. We all here. We will see maybe, to certain extent, but we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, whatever he thought, completely his body, mind started following it. And we can see even when he was practicing Dasya Bhava, like servant and master relationship, he was thinking that he's a monkey, Hanuman God, he was thinking as a monkey, and the Lord Rama is his master. I mean, many sadhakas, many spiritual aspirants have practiced, no doubt. But in his case, he took completely the form of Hanuman in him, so that just like monkeys, they keep on flapping their eyes. So he started also flapping the eyes. And he just a small piece of cloth he started tying. And he started living on the trees, imagine. Just Bhava is enough. The mood is enough for us. But Sri Ramakrishna started living on the trees just like a monkey. And he started eating only fruits, full fruits, not cut fruits or not any baked ones. Just fruits eating completely. And he says, this is okay. He had practiced the sadhana to the extreme case, we can say. His body also, reacted. He says that at the bottom of its pain, there was a external manifestation. Just like where the tail will be there for monkeys, that place, that back, where there its spine was ejected out for some time when he was practicing Dasya Bhava. Then once this Dasya Bhava is done, slowly that ejection went inside itself. Means his mind used to get carried over completely, filled with completely that Bhava. His body, his mind, his senses, his muscles, his whole body parts used to, get in tune with that. That's why he is known as Tyagishwara. And there is one very interesting and funny story also. Sri Ramakrishna's Holy Mother herself, she records in her reminiscences. Sri Ramakrishna's skin color was golden hue color, it seems. It was so attractive and it was a golden hue color. Once Sri Ramakrishna had been to Kamarpukur, that is his birthplace. One afternoon after food, he had wore a beautiful red bordered dhoti and a shirt, and he came out. So many people were standing. And Sri Ramakrishna felt, what happened? Why so many people are standing? He asked his attendant relative, Rudairam, said, why these people are standing? Rudairam said, oh, because you look so beautiful. You look so smart. You look so beautiful. You look so smart. So they want to see you. That's why the villagers are standing before you take the leave. What we would have done? We would have said, yes, it's good. Nice. I'm smart enough. I'm looking so beautiful, so nice. People are standing to see me. Just to have once glimpse, people are standing. How great I am. See, probably in the selfie age, we would have taken a selfie with all the people and would have uploaded in the WhatsApp or Facebook or internet, social media. But in Sri Ramakrishna's case, it was completely different. Sri Ramakrishna felt so bad and he went inside and removed all the clothes and he wore the old clothes. And he said, oh mother, people are getting attracted towards this physical body. What nonsense. Please take back this golden hue color. I don't want this. Because of intense sadhana and purity and practicing celibacy that had come. And of course, he's a god or whatever. So he said, please take away this. Please take away this color. Please take away this color. He started continuously praying to mother so that that golden hue color of the body went inside. Means it didn't manifest anymore. No, this is what difference between a common man and Sri Ramakrishna. You would have felt happy. So 10 people, if they come to see me or to see us, we feel so great we are. And in that days, there were no phone or no communication things and all, but a good number of people are standing in queue to see Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna, when he heard that, they are standing to see me, means this physical body, he felt bad about it. He went inside, he changed the clothes, and he prayed to Mother Kali continuously, let this golden hue color go inside, go inside, go inside. And it went inside, then only he came out and he started his travel. So that's why we say he's a Tyagishwara. And one more interesting story is Sri Ramakrishna's doctor, I think, doctor or one a devotee. Sri Ramakrishna went to a devotee's house. Then he finished that program there, and he came back. And in the night, dead night, he got up and he said, one of his son, as a cousin. I mean, son means like his elder brother's son, Ramlal. Ramlal, I'm unable to sleep. Please get up and see what is problem. Then the help of the light lamp, they saw in the whole room, there's nothing problem, no problem. Then they thought. Then Sri Ram said, did you take anything from anyone? Then Ramlal said, yes. When we went to Calcutta, one of the devotees said, 5 rupees you take and you keep it for Sri Ramakrishna. You can spend this 5 rupees for Sri Ramakrishna's any personal expenses. For Sri Ramakrishna's personal expenses, you can spend this 5 rupees. Then Ramlal said, yes, this is the problem. I'm not supposed to hold anything, carry money or store anything. So Ramlal, first you go now and you go and give back this money to that devotee. Midnight, in that olden days, there was no car or whatever like nowadays. So he had to either by walk or by horse carriage or bullock cart. He had to go. I think he went by walk or horse carriage. He went in midnight. He went and knocked at the door of a devotee. The devotee opened. And why? At this midnight you are there. Is everything okay? Sri Ramakrishna said he wanted to return back this money. Please take it back. And he returned. And again he came. And Sri Ramakrishna was able to rest for some time. And Sri Ramakrishna was unaware of that. The devotee gave 5 rupees for this Ramlal, so that for his personal experience, for his personal expense. But still, Sri Ramakrishna was unable to experience or unable to bear that, and he was unable to sleep even for little time at that night. So that's why he is Tyagishwara. And He Naravara, oh, you are the best among the men. Why is called best among the men? What was his achievement? Was he a lord? Was he a major or mayor of the country? Or he was a king? What? Why he was best among them? Was he a noble laureate? No. Why? Because he's a self-realized person. That's why one of the Sanskrit name for human being is called Manushya. And that is in Bengal, it's called Manush. And Sri Ramakrishna beautifully he defines it, Man Hush. Man means mind, Hush means conscious. One who is minding the conscious, one who is self-aware, one who is self-conscious, one who has experienced the conscious, he is called Manush. He is called human being. Means I should be aware of my awareness. I should be aware of my consciousness. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the self. I am the existence, bliss, absolute. I am that consciousness. I should be conscious of it. Then only I can be called as human being. That is one of the important nature, characteristic feature, salient feature of the human being, other than other beings like animals, birds, beasts, or whatever, isn't it? So he's a Naravara, who is best among the men is what? Because he was self-conscious man. He was self-awareness man. He had experienced the consciousness. He was living at the level of self or living at the level of consciousness. That's why he is called He Naravara, or best among the men. The one is, the God can be incarnate, God can manifest in different forms. We can see, for example, sometimes God has manifested himself through the reptiles or mammals. Say, for example, Varaha. God came in the pig form. Then Kurma. God came in the form of, God incarnated in the form of tortoise. Then Narasimha. Of the body, below of the body is the human body. The above of body is lion's body. Of lion, of animal and of human being. And whereas in Rama and Krishna and Ramakrishna, he manifested in the form of the human being. So sometimes God is manifested in the form of animals, in form of reptiles or mammals or birds or whatnot. But whereas with respect to Sri Ramakrishna, he descended, he manifested in the form of Naravara. That is, Nara means in the form of human being. Why? To help the humankind, to help the spiritual aspirants, to show the spiritual path to the humankind, and to establish dharma, to destroy the ignorance, doubt regarding the existence of self, existence of supreme spirit, or existence of divine. All these things we can think of He Naravara. Now, here we said that he has renounced lust and greed. He has withdrawn from the sense gratification from the senses. Now, that is a natural phenomena for Sri Ramakrishna. Now, for us, it is a practice. Okay, for argument's sake, now by constant practice, we have detached ourselves from this world, from these worldly desires, or from this worldly, from the instincts, from the senses. We have detached, we have withdrawn our mind. Mind is a thing, it is a thing which it needs support always. It is like a creeper. Creeper cannot exist by itself. The plant can stand by itself, the tree can stand by itself. But the creeper, it needs some support always. And maybe a wall, or maybe a pole, something it needs for its support, for its existence, isn't it? So similarly, the mind is also just like a creeper. It needs some existence. It needs some support for its existence. Now, if you take away the world, if you take away all these worldly desires from it, from the mind, then mind, it needs for its sustenance, support, what you should give. Then you support it for the self. You support it with the God. You try to support, you try to lean on the God. You try to lean on the self. That is what God, try to lead the God-centered life. Try to live self-centered life. Self-centered in the sense, conscious-centered life, not selfish life, conscious-centered life. So that idea has been told very clearly. Deho, Pade, Anurag. O Sri Ramakrishna, O the Lord, O the incarnation, O Supreme Law, Supreme Divine Spirit, Supreme Spirit or Divine, please give me the attachment, please give me the devotion at your holy feet. I shall withdraw all my body and mind from this world and let me try to fix at your holy lotus feet. Means let me try to lead the God-centered life or God-conscious life. Not the sense gratification, not at the level of senses, not at the level of mind or thoughts, not at the level of feelings, not at the level of intellect, rather at the level of self, or at the level of God, or at the level of consciousness. So Deho, Pade, Anurag. Once you get that divine love, bhakti, that's what called bhakti, means divine love, love towards divine. That is what supreme love towards divine. What happens? Then all our things are taken care, and we are more and more attached to the Lord. Then slowly, slowly, our spiritual progress will be quickened. Then we'll be free from this cycle of birth and death. That is what Bhava Sagara or Samsara we say in Sanskrit. So why we have to control our body? Why we have to control our mind? We have to control our senses. What is the intention? So that we can have a God-centered life, or conscious-centered life. So that has been told, Deho, Pade, Anurag. Please give me enough devotion. Please give me enough love towards you, towards Supreme Spirit, towards higher things, higher values, so that let me lead the real human's life, real God-centered life. A God-centered life, or the self-centered life. That's what we can see in all the great people life. They never had any pleasurable life. They never anchored for pleasurable life. They always anchored for the supreme life. They always anchored for supreme life. Supreme life means what? The living at the level of senses, living at the level of conscious, living at the level of God. Not with the world, not with the worldly centered life, rather God-centered life. That is what Deho, Pade, Anurag. May Sri Ramakrishna and the prophets, all the prophets and the incarnations. Tomorrow we have got Saint Patrick's Day, which is who is the national saint of the island. Let all the saints and prophets and incarnations bless all of us, so that let us shift ourselves from the world-centered life to the God-centered life, from the matter-centered life to the spirit-centered life, from the worldly-centered life to the godly or the conscious-centered life. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.